feels so good, it feels so right. The subs are on me, yeah, tonight.
Ready?
And it feels so good to me.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the Socially Unacceptable But Sober podcast. My name is Dino. I am an alcoholic.
I'm Jonathan. I'm an alcoholic.
My name's Matt. I'm an alcoholic.
That's Matt and Jonathan.
Yeah, buddy.
So anyway, episode 1, we got some good feedback on it. This week, we're going to, since we told you all our war stories on how we got into recovery, all the bad shit, our experience, tonight we're going to give you a little bit of experience, strength, and hope. So we're going to start off with probably 15 minutes each about when we got into sobriety, how we got sober, and how we're staying sober.
Oh, we got no
What do we got now?
fucking stopwatch. It's on the
Stopwatch, I got it.
Stopwatch? That's all right. We, fuck it. We're 8 o'clock.
Huh?
Got some videos.
So yeah, and then we're going to go into the one-time bro segment right after that. And I think tonight, Matt's going to give you one.
Yeah, I'm looking
He's got
forward
some
to
good
that
ones.
one.
I mean,
buddy.
look at him.
He's definitely got some good ones.
There's no way this motherfucker don't have good stories.
Yeah, it looked like I got hit with a bag of hammers.
So wrapping it up, we had we like you said, we talked a little bit about our war stories. There's a lot about leading up to our entry, our qualifications, if you will, to be part of the club. I love that, the club, part of the club, bro. Because I never fit.
No
into
matter
shit.
what club, bro.
Yeah.
No matter what club.
I actually, when I first came to the men's place, our hangout spot.
Yeah, the hangout spot.
The men's place.
Yeah.
That sounded real suspect.
Yeah, we can't say shit, you know what I mean?
Now, but I'm talking about what that sounds like, though. Forget
Yeah.
about what it is.
The men's spot.
The
Yeah,
men's,
the dude-
The men's spot.
It's the opposite of the woman's spot.
I was honestly thinking, I'm like, how do I get into this fucking club? What is this club they're talking about? The no matter what club.
That's right.
I was like, do I gotta rub elbows with Matt over here, or fucking?
You were hoping to rub elbows with Matt over here.
Yeah, well, I was, man.
Come on
And
now.
you weren't fucking around with this guy until I pulled my sleeves up.
No, I had you were suspect, bro. I had to keep my eyes on
I'm like,
you.
yo, he's a cop, bro.
Yeah.
You know how
He's a
many
cop.
times I've been told that?
Gotta watch this guy from across the room real quick.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you're part of no matter what club, bro.
Yes.
Or else. Or else.
Or I'm inaugurated into the club
Oh,
now.
fuck yeah.
Now you're mad at the or else club, because if you get it twisted now, you're about to get fucked up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I love it.
We don't fuck around.
And before we get started, this one's going out. Who did I tell? Did I tell you? I got reamed out by my sister.
Oh, I did, yes.
Oh man, because I didn't shout her out. I didn't shout her out on my story because
The war story.
because she was a witness to a lot of these shenanigans. So Allie, here's your shout out. I love you.
Allie.
Allie!
Yeah. So and one funny story before we get started with our sobriety
It
thing.
better be funny.
Oh geez, now the pressure's on. So I used to have these house parties when growing up, and whenever the parents would leave, and I'd just throw rages. But now, mind you, my sister's 7 years younger than me, so she's. Can I bring a friend over? Can I bring her? Yeah, sure. So she brings.
Corrupting the youth.
Yeah, she's smashed. Sorry, Allie. I got her smashed off. I think it was Kahlua, which she inadvertently ended up naming her dog after that. But some dudes came to the house. Excuse me. And my buddy Ryan's was big into lifting, and he was a very protective figure. So this poor kid, probably 14 years, not even 12. I don't know. It was 7 minus whatever.
Child.
Yeah.
He was a child.
Comes in,
and this guy bullies him.
Ryan just picks him up by the throat and throws him against the front door. What are your intentions here? And he's half in the back. It was so sorry, Allie. Scarred you for life there. That's the story. That's the story. There's more.
That was a story of child abuse.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. There probably is. No, I was under 18.
Yeah, it's legal.
Yeah, it was totally legal because we're both adolescents. All right.
Horrible people.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're going to do it the same way we did it last time. Jonathan starts us off.
I told you I didn't want to start us off.
Oh.
This goes in the time. You
It goes in the
are the
time.
youngster of the group. This guy's the middle of the group.
You're the kingpin.
I'm
at
the
end.
old man of the group.
Oh yeah, so their first episode, I fucked up with the SD card, so we didn't get the video.
Oh yeah, we didn't get
Oh,
video.
yeah.
But there might be video coming, depending on this company. They can retrieve it, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. But check out our logo, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, of course, with the great hair.
It's Jonathan.
Yeah, we got the king in the middle.
It's Matt.
Take a guess.
And that's me. Pimpin'.
Pimpin'.
Pimp.
With the rose.
The rose
I got that
flower.
rose out of a stem.
That's what happens when you don't smoke crack with it. It gets the balloon.
Yeah. So
We're ugly.
all right. So again, May 5th, 2019 is my sober date.
Hold on, buddy. I'm going to give you time.
Oh, you're gonna
Go
actually
for
time
it.
me up.
Run it.
Yeah, so May 5th was the pinnacle. That was the turning point of my recovery. That was when, as in my story, I was like, I got to the point where killing myself was the best option.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like a good idea because I'm a pain to everybody else. So we'll start from that going forward, right?
Absolutely.
So what I did, I'd been in the rooms. I'd met some dudes in there, and this was my first divine intervention. So when I woke up from the blackout, and I told you I slipped right back into the blackout, I had guys' numbers, and I reached out. I don't remember it. The only thing that confirmed it was the text message I saw when I woke up at the hospital. But I did reach out to my buddy Harry and told him, this is terrible. I can't do this anymore. And that was that's like, step one, or one of our steps. I don't know. Is that cool?
12-step programs. We can say that all
You
day.
can say that
All
whatever you
day.
want.
All right. So that talks about, we have to be as willing as the dying can be.
Absolutely.
And I was faced with that fact that, dude, I was at the pinnacle of that, So I texted him some stuff, like, I can't do this. He was one of the people who picked me up, brought me to the hospital. And that day, I went to the detox. I did my 5 days of detox, which was actually not that bad because they medicate you. It was like the 60 days after that were fucking terrible. And so I get home, and he's like, he was pissed actually. One time he went to visit me in the detox, and he was like, "Dude, where were you? I didn't see you." And I was fucking sleeping.
I was medicated.
I was medicated, baby.
Sleeping it off.
Yeah. So when I got out, I hit a meeting right after that, and he told me 90 and 90. That's what you do, So I did it. But mind you, now I have no car. I've got I still got probation, and I'm wondering if I'm going to go to jail for violating because I've just spent 5 days in detox, and then I've been skating tests. But I made it happen. I didn't. My higher power, which I choose to call God, made that shit happen, And he was a big part of that. Harry was a big part of that, because he would pick me up, give me rides and stuff, and those first 60 days were rugged, man, because I was coming off stuff other than just alcohol, and I was having panic attacks. I passed out or had a seizure in my shower, like 30 days in, dude. It was terrible, man. So. But I just kept, I kept in touch with you guys, and I kept talking to you guys. And I remember this old timer was like, "You know what? Nobody ever died of a lack of sleep." And I was like, I don't know. I think they do. I think if you don't sleep, but I believed it at the time because I was so willing to believe it, So that started my journey. And then I got into some work, I started doing some steps, and I followed direction. I did my 90 meetings, 90 days, and things started to change. And I will say this. My whole life consisted of my mind running a million miles an hour. Always go, 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 go. And it was either what I need to do, what I already done. And that's why I medicated myself. And
Slow it down. Medicate yourself to slow yourself down.
Slow it down. To slow it down. Tone that down. My dad used to call me the shark because he was like, if you stop moving, will you die? Is that going to happen? And I was like,
That's a good one.
I don't know, man. So I started doing the steps, and after my step 5, I remember meeting with my buddy, my sponsor, and that was the first time after we did that, and I told him all this ugly shit I had done. It was the first time I started feeling good about myself. Like I actually had clarity. I was able to lay down, no thoughts running through my head. I felt calm. I felt peaceful. It was amazing. So of course I wanted more of that. You know, that was
yeah.
like my buy-in.
Feels good.
That good.
Yeah. So I went through the rest of the steps. And then, you know, like we talk about, you know, I continue to work a lot of them on a daily basis. And this is, you know, I've got 4.5 years in the program, but I'd like to say that every year I try to put effort towards something. The first year was like figuring out what's going on, what you guys are all about. Like, what is this? Finishing the steps. My second year was kind of developing a relationship with my higher power, you know, and learning.
You did all 12 the first year?
Yeah, I did all 12 my first year. Yeah. I couldn't wait, man. He wouldn't start me on the first step until like I had a certain amount of time. And I was like, I knew how sick I was.
Right.
So I wanted to get started. But yeah, I got them all done the first year. And then I was eligible to sponsor others, you know, which was a blessing. But, you know, so my second year, I started working on my relationship with my higher power. And through outside circumstances, I ended up switching sponsors. And I had a guy that was very spiritual, you know, and he kind of taught me about that. And that's what I needed, you know. And then my third year was kind of learning about change and all this stuff that was up in the air, because I was a career graphic designer, you know, that's all I had known. But I hated it because it wasn't art. It wasn't drawing. It was just rearranging stuff on a page through a computer.
Right.
So I you know, I was unemployed. I was going to school. I started going back to school for alcohol and substance abuse counseling.
Typical.
Standard. And then I started. I was working part time for my buddy, and life was good. But I was adapting. You know, I was starting to learn these changes. And then you know, at my third year, also, I think it was my third year, man. My third year, a lot of big changes came. I got married. I moved here.
You moved here, then got married.
Yep.
Yeah, I moved here. Then I got married. I moved here in June.
We'll help you out.
I'll
bro.
tell you
Yeah,
a story.
yeah,
Fuck
thank
it.
you.
We'll tell your story from here on out.
And then, you know, bought a house, you know, that whole big thing. And then my master's program.
Yeah.
Right. Finishing that up.
Not typical.
Not typical. Not typical.
Not typical of the shark.
Yeah, not typical of the shark at all. But I tell you that, you know, this recovery business gives you a life that is bountiful, right? A life that is so full that I value that downtime where I can just breathe for a minute.
Shut it down.
And I don't have a lot of that because we are very capable people, super capable. And look at the efforts we put out there when we were using.
Oh God, dude.
Shit.
We could bottle that up and sell it, dude. We'd be drinking it right now.
Millionaires.
And you know what? I sent you guys that video of that dude, Shane Gillis. That was had me
Oh, the heroin one?
dying,
Yeah.
bro. Like it progresses to new levels. Like now you're doing quests for this stuff, and I was like, yeah, my
You
quest.
have
and
to go get as much copper as you possibly can.
dude. Like that was. I remember the days sick as shit in my buddy's house stripping. You know.
Time to go to work.
But now that I convert, you know, that I channel this energy to something good, my life just it's like the butterfly effect. It starts hitting other people and affecting other people, and everybody's lives start to change inadvertently because I stopped doing drugs and I started living a program. Like you can't just stop drinking and stop doing drugs.
No.
That doesn't work.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
I tried it, dude. Believe
fucking
me.
around?
You better shut up.
You better shut your mouth. Because then
Talk
I'm the
about
same person, man. I'm the same person.
Yeah.
It's like the drunken horse thief, you know? I stopped drinking, I'm still a horse thief. I got to change everything else. And that was a big task to ask of me. This fucking guy.
I don't know what's going on.
And so, yeah. and over that time, I had my spiritual experience. What am I at? 6?
You're good, brother.
6:37.
Counting down.
Plenty of time.
I had my spiritual experience during that time, and it wasn't the flashlights, it wasn't like Jesus coming down, touch me on the shoulder.
The harps.
That happened when I was hallucinating.
Yeah. All the time.
All the time. But what it was like recalling my last year and saying like, oh my God, like life has actually changed with no action, no direct action from myself. My higher power, just doing the next right thing, talking with dudes like you about what should I do? What's the right move here, And then, as the third year got so busy, I realized that my recovery wasn't suffering, but a piece of my recovery was suffering. So like my desire to drink and drug was lifted from me, which I'm blessed for. But what started to change was my ability to sit still again, because I had this beautiful life. I had all this stuff going on. So my fourth year, I got into meditation, man. And I am a mindfulness meditation junkie, man. That is my joint.
I've seen them.
And they told me, people think I'm in a cult because of the stuff that I did for meditation. Like I paid this dude $700 to teach me how to meditate and give me a mantra. But I do a form of meditation called transcendental meditation. And it was so amazing, the whole experience. And it didn't seem like anything really major. And it's not like listening to guided stuff. It's not any of that. I just sit for 20 minutes and repeat a mantra and let my thoughts run as they will. And I don't do it as often as I would like to now. But when I do it, the relief I get from that is exponential. It carries me not only through that day, but a couple days later. So these are all the pieces. And this is what I try to instill this into people that I work with. So like I had this knucklehead of a sponsee over in New York. Old Roberto. Yeah, Roberto. And he came in and he had that willingness, man. He had that willingness. And he asked me, well, all right, what'd you do? So that's all I shared. Was exactly what worked for me. This motherfucker's out here. He's got over 2 years, I think 2 years sober. He's getting married, bro.
All right, Roberto.
Oh, yeah, Roberto.
Isn't it beautiful when you get to witness somebody else grow, and you had a very little insignificant part of helping them, and you get to see it all start to unravel for them?
That's so beautiful. So beautiful.
So beautiful.
So fast. So yeah, that was a good piece. I love how you just back your ass up, man.
I'm not talking right now.
You were talking to me. I'd probably sound like a crazy person on the fucking radio if nobody's
Sounds like a
watching.
crazy person, close up or far away. Fuck it.
That's true. This is true. But it is beautiful to touch somebody's life and have an impact like that and see them. And he called me the other day just to check in, see what was going on. I mean, we had this thing on, he would call me every morning on my way into work. He worked at a farm at the time, and we would talk, and it was really nice. And then that stopped because I was like, yo, man, I can't sponsor you. I don't see you every day, So we got a new one, and his life continued, and beautiful, man. And I still keep in touch with those dudes from New York because they were monumental, they were paramount to my recovery. And like I said, the last episode. That's it. Last episode
1.
we did was that how I avoided this particular group that was on
Our
Wednesday.
group?
Yeah, our because it was Waterbury, man. The only thing I knew about Waterbury was copping bags of dope.
Buns, baby, buns.
Yeah,
The
so
dirty water, son.
I went to Naugatuck. I went to Watertown.
That stomped on shit.
Thomaston. And then finally, I met you guys.
That
and
watered
this
down
is
shit, son.
The watered down
Got
Watertown.
talcum powder.
I got the real deal that fucking Wednesday night, man. I got the real deal, and I've been going ever since. Committed to that. We were talking about
Commitment,
that
baby.
Yeah.
Commitment, man. Committed. I'd like that. I heard a lot of things for the first time. Are you here for a reason? Or are you here for the season?
That's right. That's the truth.
Because there was plenty of times I was here for the season, baby.
Straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Lying
Especially the
in,
cold
man.
season.
I couldn't even stay the whole season.
The cold season.
As soon as my back started feeling better, shit.
Talked about that. Those back problems.
Back problems.
Recovery.
Got my wife back. Got my job back. Shit, got my car.
Yeah.
Everything's back. I'm good.
Everything's
Time to
back.
go.
I'm gonna run a gun.
My back's good.
And just a piece of the blessings that I'll share while my time's running up.
You're good, brother. You're good.
My I came home from work the other day and I've been working extra hours. I got a baby on the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
A girl. Karma's a bitch,
He's gonna
bro.
have his hands
Yeah,
full.
but I heard that's easier. I heard
Okay.
that's better.
Yeah, let me know.
It'll be worse later on, but hopefully I'll just be senile.
Yeah, but
by
should have some killer uncles by then to fucking handle
Yeah.
it.
I don't
What
gotta
was the guy's name that lifted that kid up at your
Yeah,
Ranger?
Ryan.
Yeah, you're gonna need a Ryan.
We'll call Ryan.
We go Ryan. But yeah, so because I've been working so much, I got home. I might have told you guys this story. I got home and my wife Ashley was asking me these basic fucking questions that I did not have the capacity to answer. I was like, I don't know. And I woke up and I do my daily routine, my morning routine. I pray, I get on my knees. My feet don't touch the ground. I get on my knees and I kind of reflect and I look for what my sign is for the day. First thing that stuck in my head is you fucked up last night, bro. You ain't got time to talk to your wife. And she wasn't pissy about it. She was totally cool. I mean, she's a blessing. She's an angel on earth too. But so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna change this. And I have the ability to do so. I'm not banging all my money out the door. So I looked up and I'm going to Punta Cana, baby, next
Punta.
Monday.
Is
that there? That's the pooter out
You got
there?
that pooter?
It's a pooter cotter. That's where we're going. Pooter cotter.
Jesus.
So yeah, life is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, we got a ding sound too?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
done.
don't even know how to stop it.
Shut it
That's
down.
beautiful.
Nah, but you're
just-
good. Keep going, man.
That's the play. Yeah, that's it, man. That is it. Oh, another shout out to my sister, man. I spent Sunday up at Great Barrington, Massachusetts, because she got engaged,
All right.
baby. So
Shout out.
and her fiance Adam is an awesome dude. He is a genuine good person, and he's also a cop.
Oh, there you go.
So I got a cop in the family. Now I can tell people my brother's a cop.
Unless you live in fucking Massachusetts, it's useless.
Whatever, they don't need to know that. Nobody needs to know that.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Great Barrington. That's up near Sheffield, right?
Yeah. Sheffield. You
Sheffield.
Yeah,
Worked in Sheffield for a little while.
I think he lived. I think they
Is that
both
when you
lived
did
there.
that cable shit?
The solar.
Yeah.
Solar stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man. So my
Cable,
life
solar,
is
shit.
fucking
Had
great
cables on
because
it.
of this.
Had cables on it.
What are we doing? What?
We're outside.
All right, I'm all set.
You good?
I'm good, baby.
John,
good.
thank you very much for giving us that strength and hope, man. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the middleman.
The middleman.
Middleman.
Jeez, I'm still the
Just don't bring
middleman.
the scale.
I don't think that's.
Did you see that? Did I send that to you? No. It shows a guy with his fucked up face, and he says, "When you're the middleman, and the other party brings a scale."
Oh, you're like, damn. Like, yo, your scale's messed up.
Yeah.
Your scale's messed up. Jesus. All right, so I guess I'll give you my 15-minute story. My name's Dino. I am an alcoholic.
What up,
I don't
Dino?
know what I'm doing with this thing. So
Fuck it.
my last day is where I got to start.
Yeah.
July 8th, 2013. It was a brutal day, man. I just got kicked out of yet another sober house for obviously
What's going
getting
on?
high and drinking reasons.
Oh, I think my fucking
You
chair.
got another
Jesus,
Caesar.
man, he just broke it.
Bro, look at this. This shit's it's fucked, bro.
Mother of God, dude, you want a bench?
I got a broken one out back. Now we're just gonna.
Don't move, bro.
Yeah, don't
Yeah, I
sit
won't
back.
mean.
We'll have to edit John falling on the ground right now.
And me falling because I'm laughing at him.
Yeah.
We're all falling out.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, July 8th, 2013. I just got kicked out of another sober house. Everybody was getting high in the sober house, and I figured it came time to my evaluation. I figured that if I was honest with them, that they would let me stay a little bit longer. Because everybody else is getting high, and you're letting them stay. So the day my evaluation came, I said, listen, man, I messed up just a little bit last night. Just a tiny bit, man. I messed up, but I guarantee you next week or next month, my urine's going to be clean bean.
It
Guaranteed.
ain't gonna be hot no more.
And obviously I was lying out of my ass because I was getting high the whole entire month I was living there. And he said, sorry, bud. He's like, we know we know what's going on in the house, and we've got to make a change, and it's going to start with you, and you need to pack your shit and go. So I'm like, holy shit, man. Where am I going to go? I got nowhere to go. And he was like, well, where did you live before? I said, well, I lived in the woods. I lived in the woods for like 2 years before I got here.
I still got a nice place out there.
I still
too.
got a nice place. It's 71 and a half Zuella Drive. If anybody's interested, it's vacant and it's rent controlled. So I get in his car. He brings me. He's like, wow, you really live in the woods? I'm like, yeah, bro, I live in the woods, man. So can I come back? He's like, good luck to you,
Nope.
kid. Good luck. So I was like,
Consequences
"Fuck."
of your actions.
Consequences, man. So I started walking to my chateau, and I'm like, this is bullshit, man. Why does this always happen to me? Why does these things keep happening to me? Why? You know, before I went into that sober house, I had attempted to kill myself. Obviously, it didn't work. I created this noose. I wasn't a Boy Scout, so I don't know if a noose would have worked, but I made it. I don't know if it would have worked. I'm sure it would have worked. I'm a good maker of nooses, I guess.
Not a good maker of hanging things. These were difficult.
Yeah, they were.
So the hanging part would have been a little difficult.
So as I'm walking back, to the shed, that noose that I made a month prior was still hanging there, man. I looked at the noose and I'm like, damn, man, like what the hell am I gonna do?
Talk about a come to Jesus moment.
Mind you, my first introduction into recovery, I walked into a 12-step meeting, and you know, I was 17 years old, and I heard all these people about being homeless and losing their wives and all this stuff, and all I could do was say, what a bunch of losers these guys are, man. Like, I am nothing like them, and they sent me to the wrong place. Like, these guys were trying to hug me and give me their phone numbers, and I was like, no, man, get away from me. And my whole active life, I've always felt completely like I don't belong here. I'm coming to the wrong place, and for the first time in my life, that day, July 8th, 2013, when I looked at that noose, I realized that I am the same person that I've been talking shit about my whole entire life. I am that loser, that weak person, you know? So I picked up the phone. I called the last place I was in, the last rehab, and I told them what happened. And they said, you know, you got a bed here, and you better be here tomorrow morning at 9:15. I said, I'll be there. So I said to myself, well, tomorrow I'm going to get my life together. One last time, I'm going to get my life together. But since I don't have to go there till tomorrow, today, it's on. Yeah. It's on. I'm going to get as completely fucked up as I possibly can. I'm going to smoke so much rock. I'm going to drink so much alcohol. And it's on. But tomorrow, I'm going to get my life in order. So I got to get as much as possible tonight. So I set out to go do that. And this is where I kind of started realizing that God loves me when I look back into this story, this part of my life. I couldn't get anything. There was nothing. I couldn't get nothing. I have either robbed or borrowed from every package store, some people might call them liquor stores, in a 10-mile radius in Waterbury, you know. So any store I walked into, they were either calling the cops because I'm back, here he is, or get the hell out, you owe us this much money and you ain't paying us back, get out. I couldn't get a Lucy, man, one bear, nowhere, not even a bodega. And I'm calling every drug dealer I know, and nobody's messing with me, man. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I'm wasting valuable time.
Yeah,
I gotta get it off and popping.
Yeah, I got one day.
So I made a phone call to the last drug dealer that I ever talked to, July 8th, 2013, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'll cuff you one." He said, "I'm over here." It was about a 15-minute walk or run. So I did that. I hung up the phone, and I'm off, man. And I get there, and he's gone. And everybody said, yeah, he was waiting for you, but, you know. And I'm like, shit. So I call him again. He goes, bro, I can't just wait for you, man. You're not even coming with money. You know what I mean? So I can't just wait for you. So I'm like, all right, where are you? I'll come there. And he tells me he's over there. This is Waterbury, Connecticut. If anybody knows this area of the world, it is all hills.
Couple hills.
It's a couple, 2-3 hills. Everything, Hill Street, Long Hill, Hillside. Everything is named after a hill. So he's like, I'm over this end of town now. So I'm like, all right, I'll be there. I get there, he's gone. And this is how the whole entire day went, was chasing this one dealer all over the city, man.
Those Chevrolet legs needed to be gassed up, baby.
Bro, July is hot. I was putting in the work, bro. So it came. I put in a 6 to 8 hour shift chasing this dude around, like literally, man. Right?
For a 20.
For not even, if that. He probably would have got that dust from the bottom of the bag, man. Here you go. You know what I mean? But to me, that's all I would need. Like just a couple of sips or a couple of hits, and I can make magic happen after that. I just need that motivation. So the last phone call I ever made to a drug dealer or anything in my life was July 8th around 10:23 at night. I called him up. I said, bro. He's like, listen, I'm at my house. You know where I live, but you better come now. Don't come knocking like you do. I share this all the time because I know a lot of people can relate to this, but this is the kind of drug addict and alcoholic that I am.
Don't bang on the table.
Oh, man. He said, you better come now. Don't come the way you do. And what he meant by that was, I don't really give a shit if you have kids. I don't care if there's a cop that lives near you. I don't care. When I need my shit, I need my shit. So I'm going to start pounding on your door.
There we go.
Pounding.
I knew it.
I'm not banging like I normally
True.
do. Pounding. Yo, come on, bro. Come on.
I keep
That's what he
thinking my
meant.
fucking camera.
Don't come like you do. And so I might walk to his house, man. Let me tell you, it's July 8th. Very, very hot. I was worn. I was drenched in sweat, man, from just doing the Waterbury 500. And I needed to take just 1 second to take a break and spread my legs apart, man. I was so chafed. My inside of my thighs were so sore, like sores from just rubbing up against each other. And my feet, man, like I've been wearing the same sneakers for the last 3 years. They were worn. There was not hardly any sore. Dude, I had sores on my feet, sores on my everywhere, dude. It was horrible. I had to sit down for 1 second. I said, let me just sit down for 1 second. Let me take a break real quick. And then I'll sprint.
Yeah.
And when I sat down is when it happened. I think I got it. What happened was, and I know it sounds weird, but it might not sound weird because I know a lot of people who have this kind of same experience. I sat down for a second. I looked back, and that's when I saw, and I like to say that God put a movie on of my life. And what he showed me was he actually started the movie right in that day. And he said, look at what you've been doing all day long. And it's not even in you yet.
Yeah, it hasn't even gotten there.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like,
the
holy
thought of
shit. Just the thought. It's not even in me yet, bro. I'm doing marathons, dude.
Yeah.
Like going above and beyond
Yeah.
for a little taste. And I was like, holy shit. And what he did was he just started moving the video backwards. Yeah. He was like, look at the week up until now. Look at the month. Look at everything you've ever done for this stuff.
Yeah.
The drinking and drugging. Like, look at your life. And it took me all the way back to when I was 12 years old that we talked about in episode 1. My first drink and my first drug. And he showed me that ever since I put this stuff in my body, it has called all the shots.
Everything.
From that day.
Directs the show.
It told me where to go, how to get there, what door to kick in, what old lady to rob, what to say to my ex-wife, what to say. It told me everything. And I said, sir, yes, sir, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Against my will.
Yep.
Powerless.
Isn't it crazy? You're going to do that, but when someone tries to help you save your life, you ain't willing to do shit.
I ain't willing to do shit.
Do you hear me now?
Powerless, man. Powerless.
I mean, you're about 3 feet away, so probably.
And I saw that. I saw that I've been powerless my whole entire life, you know. And it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks, man. Like, wow, I actually am an alcoholic, and I really am a drug addict. I'm a drug addict. I never thought that. Yeah, I'm living in the woods for 2 years. My wife left me. I got no job. My wife, my family wants nothing to do with me. I still could not accept the fact that I really am an alcoholic and I really am a drug addict and that I'm 110% powerless over all of this stuff. I thought that one day I'd be able to grasp that way. And I was going to come back to all them 12-step programs and say, see, you can still drink and drug and have an amazing life.
I told you.
It's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
failed. I was wrong. So I saw that. And I fetched myself up, man. I walked back to my chateau. I said, that's it. I'm done, man. You know, I literally sincerely asked God for help for the first time in my life. Not the foxhole prayers and not any of the bullshit things we say like, God, please get me some help. Or God, please get me out of this one. And I swear to God, and all these false promises that we make to HP, you know. And I said the prayer that actually counted. I said, God, fucking help me. I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to live. I don't want to die. I don't know what I'm doing, but I need help, and I'll do whatever it takes. I meant it, man.
The verse that we've repeated so many times, but never actually meant.
Never actually sincerely deep
Nothing,
down inside.
nothing behind it.
Yeah.
Nothing, bro. And I meant it.
Yeah.
I did. I meant it. And I kind of meant it every other time. I just didn't know what it entailed.
Yeah.
You know? So I went back to my chateau the next morning, got up, I went to rehab. And they started telling me what it takes to get sober and to stay sober. They're like, make your bed every single day. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Read this stuff. And I'm like, wow, my God. And I'm sitting there going, man, I've already done all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is not what's going to keep me sober. I know what I need to keep me sober. And I know, and I know, and I know. And then, you know, God loves me, man. He loves me so much. He's put all the right people in my life, man, since that day. And he's always actually put all the right people in my life. Counselor at that place snatched me up by my neck like the little punk ass kid that I actually was, and threw me in the office and said, you know, you've been saying the same shit since you were 17 years old, that you're willing to do anything, and as soon as we tell you what to do, you start smacking that shit away. You'll do everything else, but you won't do what we tell you to do. Why don't you let us start running your life for a little while?
Yeah.
He said that if we take your life and we crumple it in a little ball and we throw it in the middle of like 100,000 people, he said, any idiot who picks up your life could run it better than you. He said, well, so why don't you just let them? You know, and I had no argument. He was absolutely right. I used to say stuff like, this stuff doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And that's a true statement. It doesn't work for me.
No.
But once I started listening and applying stuff that I've been being told since 1988, once I started applying this stuff, like read this stuff in this book, make your bed every single morning, connect with a higher, like all these things, I started implementing them in my life the way they were suggested without putting my little twist on it. And like, lo and behold, man, like stuff started going okay, man. You know what I mean? I started seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And I went from that place to I transitioned to another place in Stamford, Connecticut. And it was hardcore, bro. It was so hardcore that dudes that have done some serious bids said I'd rather do bids than be here. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if you ever done. Have you ever done a real bid? Because we're good here. It was bad, though. It was.
Is this the place that shut down?
It shut down.
Kicked you out?
Shut down. No, it didn't kick me out. It shut down.
Right,
Like,
right.
They kicked us all out.
Yeah.
We're just done here. We're gonna lock the door.
Yeah. So I went out to that place. It was hardcore, man. You couldn't lean back. You couldn't snap your fingers. You couldn't wear a hat. You couldn't swear. You couldn't do nothing, man. It was like very militant. It was very spiritual based, very militant. It only sheltered 12 guys, and those guys better be mean it to stay sober. There was no fooling around in this house because your bags were already packed before you knew it. You was out.
Yeah.
People be like, well, what do you mean I don't live here no more? Yeah. You don't want to follow a rule?
See ya.
Out. Peace.
Yeah.
They didn't mess around, and I needed that. I needed that bad, man. And I stayed there for 4 months, man, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I was childish. I learned that I was selfish, grandiose at the same time, with an inferiority complex, feeling superior with an inferiority complex, selfish, self-centered to the extreme. I never cared about anybody but myself, and I didn't even do that well.
Yeah.
I also learned that HP has had me my whole entire life, man. He loves me. I learned that he loves me. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Statistically, I'm not supposed to be. Statistically, I'm supposed to be buried in the ground or eating my food through a straw or doing a long bid. And I'm not doing any of those things. And it's only through the grace of God. So I'm at that place, you know, and the state comes in and shuts it down because they thought it was people shouldn't live here. It got roaches, bed bugs, rats, mice, like the works. It had everything. But it had one thing that we were just not willing to let it go. We had sobriety.
Yeah.
It had spirituality here. The people that lived there didn't give a shit about bed bugs. That's how good this place was. We didn't care about that shit. But the state was like, no, you should care about it. We're closing it down. You guys need to be out of here by Tuesday. And I'm like, fuck, I got nowhere to go. Where am I going to go? And, you know, that early in recovery, when you throw a curveball at somebody, you know, where our thoughts start going to fuck this, and I didn't get sober for this, and this is bullshit. Where am I gonna go? And I ended up going to a the Pacific House Shelter for Men in Stamford, Connecticut, and at the time was not a sober place. Very the opposite of dry. Me and 3 other cats went. Everybody else got placed in sober houses and stuff like that in apartments, and I couldn't get that. And 2 other cats couldn't get that, so we ended up there. And here I am bitching like I didn't get sober for this, and this is bullshit, and I'm gonna go back to Waterbury and fuck this, and I didn't, you know. And the next thing you know,
I deserve better than this.
I feel this big hand snatch me up, I've been needed to get snatched up a lot in recovery. And I got thrown into office by the counselor that worked at the last rehab. I was like, damn. He's like, yeah, I work here.
You came
He's
in.
like, I work there and I work there. He's like, this is my only job now because they closed that place now. But he's like, I hear you bitching. He was like, what are you bitching about?
Yeah.
What are you bitching about? I said, bro, this and that. And he was like, listen, this is temporary for you. Continue to do what you're going to continue to do what you do. Continue to work with the sponsor because that by this time I had a real amazing sponsor. Shout out to Jeff. Amazing sponsor. No holds barred sponsor. Like if you mess around, find somebody else, bro. I got no time to waste with this shit. And he was right. You know, everybody's been right. Everybody's been right. The only person who's been wrong is me. You know what I mean? And you know, I continue to do that. You know what I mean? And I started waking up in the morning and head, you know, connecting with my higher power, doing, you know, reading my literature, head out, go look for work, go to meetings, walking.
Yeah.
If I walk, bro. You heard what I did for nothing.
Yeah.
So for recovery, I'm going to walk. I would walk 15, 16, 20-mile radiuses and just look for work, hit up meetings, be grateful, look up, talk to my higher power. And I kept doing that. I kept working on the steps, you know. July 9th, 2013 is my sobriety date. You know, that's when I realized I was powerless over alcohol. And that my life obviously is completely unmanageable.
Unbeknownst to me. But
yeah, who knew?
They told
Who knew
me.
living in the woods is unmanageable. But anyway, and then, you know, I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. That took a little while, you know, because we want to run shit, especially when back problems start feeling better. It's like, I got this. I can handle this. So I had to start letting a lot of things go. And pretty much just, like I said, they crumple my life, threw it in the crowd, let somebody else run it. So I started letting you guys run my life because you always do a better job than me. And I continue to do that stuff on a daily basis. You know, change the way I think and change the way I act. Turn my will and my life over, man. That was a hard thing because I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant. Like, what do you mean I'm supposed to change the way I think? How am I supposed to change the way I think? They're like, well, start changing the way you act. I'm like, I don't even know how I act. I don't really know that stuff. And but, you know, practice and asking questions and working with another person and working with a bunch of guys, they showed me. You know what I mean? And then we got down to the point where we find out what really makes this alcoholic and drug addict tick. And I was like, oh, shit, that's bad. I don't like that.
This
Oh,
is
my
ugly.
God. This is me?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm broken. They're like, good news is now you have a list of stuff that you can actually see what's wrong with you and start working on that. And I'm like, wow, that is actually good news. Because I didn't know a lot of this. I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I really didn't think I was selfish. I thought going to my mom's house and mowing her lawn and then hounding her for $20, I was a good son.
Yeah.
I go to her house, mow her lawn, and hang out all day till she gave me money. But I'm helping my mama. I'm a good son.
You're a good son,
I
man.
had no idea how selfish I was. And then, you know, really got all the good stuff out. Got it out, man. Talked to another human being with God in the same room and got all the secrets out, man. I was holding on to a lot of stuff that I was ashamed of. And got it all out, man, between me, my higher power, and another human being, man. And it was like a very freeing moment. Again, it wasn't the harps and all that crazy stuff, but something did change that day. And they told me that if you don't do a fifth, you're going to drink a fifth. And I don't want to drink a fifth no more. And then I continue to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Started becoming entirely ready on really starting to change these things and then asking God to help me with that because I always need the help. What I had to realize is that I always have the help. I always get the power all the time. The power is right there, readily available at any given moment. All I got to do is ask and then carry out the action. And stuff started changing and my life started getting good, man. My life
good,
still
baby.
is amazing. You know what I mean? Still is amazing. Made the amends with my family. Continue to do this stuff. You know, they talk about these maintenance steps in this 12-step program, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with calling them the maintenance step because I think they're the growing steps. You know what I mean? Because if you don't grow in this thing, you go. I can't stay stagnant, man. I'm not the kind of drug addict alcoholic that just could be like, okay, I'm done now. Because once I'm done, then I'm done. I'm done. If I got nothing to work on, let's get high, bro. I'm
Yeah,
bored. You know what I mean?
let's do it.
Like,
yeah, I got nothing
So,
going on. I'll get out.
yeah, man. You know, July 9, 2013, man, that's my sobriety day. That is the most important day in my life. I got the thorough ass whooping that I needed. I've been willing as the dying can be since that day. I don't underestimate this thing that I have inside my head. I'm just as hungry for recovery today as I was that very first day. I am still just as willing to do whatever it takes to stay sober on a daily basis. Whatever it takes. I don't say no to nothing. As long as it's positive and it's recovery based, I don't say no to it. My life is absolutely amazing today. I've never had it so good. People would kill for the life I have today. And almost 11 years ago, I would have wanted to kill myself. You know what I mean? And it's a direct result of God loves me, the work that I put into this on a daily basis, helping others, major part, because I can't keep this stuff if I'm trying to keep it all to myself. What am I being? Being selfish.
Yeah.
Being selfish. So I got to give it away. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, guys, I can never say enough for the life I have today. I can't. I could go on and on and on and on, and I'm already past my 15. But I don't really give a shit. I'm still selfish.
He'll end with this.
I'm going to end with this real quick. Yeah, man, you know, it's possible that anyone, man, you talk to any one of three of us. If I can do it, anybody can do it. If Matt can do it, anybody can do it. If Jonathan can do it, anybody can do it, because we are the real deal, drug addict and alcoholic. The real deal. Nobody out there listening to this, we're the same, man. We are the same person. Doesn't matter how much you used or where you used. What matters is what happens to you when you use. And all that is the same thing that we've gone through. So, man, I've never had it so good. That's my strength and hope, and I'm sticking to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Hold you back.
So, yeah,
Perfect.
that's where it's at.
I'll cut all that.
Now we're going to hear from
All that.
the king.
The kingpin.
Kingpin.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, buddy.
Am I close enough?
Yeah. Love it.
Chris, am I close enough?
Chris.
Chris was our guy with the bass that told me I was too far away from the mic.
Slap of the bass.
Slap of the bass.
Slap of the bass.
slap the bass.
Okay, Mad Alcoholic.
Matt.
Mateo.
My date is 8/15/06. The funny thing about that is a little backstory. So I get this tattoo over my eye for it's a Roman numeral 12.
It's on the other side.
This side. It's been there a while. And the night I got it, I was at our little get together on Wednesday.
The men's spot.
The men's spot, as Jonathan likes to say. And so I talk about it. And then Bob, and he will chuckle when he remembers this story. Bob calls me up later that night. He says, I think you put the wrong number on your face, bro. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? He had the fucking paper with my police blotter in it. And it's the top of the paper is 07. But I caught the case and copped out in 06.
Yeah.
But I had to go back to court for some other
Right.
shit, so they reprinted it in 07.
Bastards.
So he's like, you're off a year. I said, no, you moron.
Fake news.
Read the article. You'll see in the article it says 06. But the funny thing is the actual date was 8/14. I was off a day. But my brain was so polluted, I had no idea when I got sober. So I just guessed. I figured, fuck it, middle of the month.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Perfect.
August.
It's safe.
Fuck it. Safe guess. So I always say I got an extra day in the bank. I never change my date, and I keep it at the 15th. And so that's a beautiful thing. The first thing I was thinking, when both of these guys were telling their stories about being in this thing that we call a new way of life, I would be hating them. I would be like, who do these fucking guys think they are? Telling me about all this happy shit that's going on in their lives.
Fucking nerve.
Because I could never put it together long enough to achieve an inkling of it. And rather than allow myself to be in the position to do some work, to make some changes, it was easier for me to hate you, to throw stones at your little story, and keep myself all warm and fuzzy in my sickness, and just rock with that, you know.
They were losers.
Fucking
Yeah.
losers.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, brother.
Don't ever say that again. So, I believe in the war story portion of our first episode, it came out that I'm in prison sobriety.
Oh, yeah.
I talked about that. Okay. So for me, it really was the pivotal point was I was literally sitting on my bunk, 44 bunk, 6 building time program.
Shout out.
Shout out to the time program. For anyone that doesn't know, that's Carl Robinson Prison here in Connecticut. And
Fine facility.
a terrible thing happened in Cheshire that people are aware of. I'm
Oh,
sure.
you mean Cheshire?
Cheshire? And so without getting into that horrible act against people that we can't even get into, but because of my record, I was now considered a violent offender. So therefore, my parole date got taken. And by taking, anyone that knows, when you catch a case, you catch a bid, there's all these breakdowns of the numbers, and at some point you're eligible to go up for parole, to be granted parole. Well, my date got pushed back. So in essence, my date got taken, and I received this letter in the mail, and I'm sitting on my bunk, and I'm saying, I got 2 choices here. I could go back out into the compound and become a knucklehead again and forget about, now mind you, I was faking the funk all this time in this program because I didn't really want to be sober. I just didn't want the chaos no more. But I was not looking to do any kind of work.
Easy.
That's
right.
And then I thought about, the next thought was, well, maybe I can get involved with this step work that they talk about. Now, I had been aware of it in the past, but I never, ever fully committed to it. You know, it's like you said, that stuff don't work for me. It's for all you other lame dicks, but it's not for me. You know, the killer gangster that I think I am.
Pimping.
Fool that I really am.
Player.
But
He could say all that shit? Gets away with it? You can tell him to shut up.
shut up.
So,
The
okay.
fucking player hate the game? That wasn't okay?
Okay. Shut up.
Your shit was dumb, though. He didn't say that. So anyway, you know, I went with Plan B, and I had this woman counselor. You talked about God always putting the right people in your
Absolutely.
life at different, but you know, I was so good at not wanting to see the signs. I was not looking for the life preservers that kept getting thrown my way. And I had this woman counselor. You know, I won't break her anonymity, but if she ever hears this, she will know exactly who I'm talking about. And I thought, you know, in my own little manipulative mind, when I realized I was getting a woman counselor, I'm like, I'm gonna manipulate the shit out of her. I'm gonna get whatever I want.
Easy.
Easy peasy, baby. But you know, she was 25 years sober. She came from the streets. This woman been through it, and she saw my weak ass game from down the street, you know. And God knew exactly who He was putting in my life because I was ready to begin to do some work. And you know, in certain circles, they always say that a man should work with a man and a woman should work with a woman. But you know, there's also in that no matter what club, you got to do whatever you got to do if it's put in front of you. And I used her to my advantage because she was placed in my life for a reason. So I did a 1 through 5 with her. I did my 4th, and I remember doing a 1 through 3. And then I spoke to my sponsor at the time, and I'm like, man, Bobby, I don't know. I got a woman here. I got to do a 4th and a 5th. He said, you got to do what you got to do, kid. You know, and I did that. And I'm sure if we could read it now, it would probably be pretty comical because I didn't really have that ability to be gut-wrenching honest yet. but I was honest as I could be at the time.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, I began to do a little bit of work, that inside work that we talk about. I was always very good at the outsides, right? You dress up the outside. But you know, like they say, right? You put fucking perfume on a pig, it's still a fucking pig. And
Just
that
a
was
smelly one.
just a smelly, fresh, smelly
Smells
one.
delicious.
But you know, that was the story of my life. You clean up the outside, I'm good.
Yep.
You know, just don't watch me too close. I always said that. I'll do this thing, man, but don't watch me, because then you're gonna probably see I ain't about shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I begin to do this work, man. I learned that maybe if I thought less about myself and more about other people, life could change. And I found that was the basis of the sobriety that I was after. And it was something as simple like, you know, man, there's really something to be said about going to bed hungry and not having nothing in your gut, man, you know. And I remember at the time they sold these soups. Everybody knows about the ramen, right? And they were 19 cents at the time.
Wow.
And you know what, man? You know the power of 19 cents when someone's hungry and you give that to them? The change that can occur, even if it's just for the moment that they're eating, you can change their life. The power of that blew my mind. And to know that I could help somebody in such a little insignificant way. And I had all these people, like you said, man, people throwing their backs out trying to help me. And for the first time in my life, I learned what it meant to be grateful for that. And not take it in, chew it up, and spit it out. You understand? And life began to change. You know, and lo and behold, I came out, man. When I came out, they say anyone that's being released from anywhere, I don't care, halfway house, detox, drug program, prison, you get out the day, you get to a meeting that night. You raise your hand, you introduce yourself to the group, and I remember coming out, and for the first, I had been released a number of times, right? I'm in all kinds of places my whole adult life. And I never once thought I needed to do what you're telling me. Why? Because I got all the answers.
I know.
All the answers.
I know what I got to do.
I just got to do it. Like a buddy of mine says. He always said that. I know what I got to do, man. I just got to do it. Okay, why don't you shut the fuck up then and do it? We're all very good talkers in the program, you know, I found it. Come to find out.
And we're very good thinkers, too. We like to think about things a
Yeah,
lot.
way too much.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing
Yeah.
that. I've been thinking about it. Yeah.
Think yourself right out of the room.
Let me
Yeah.
think about thinking real quick.
I think I said this last week, you know, the thing that we're involved with, and we keep that anonymous, obviously, because we're not here to promote any one thing.
Right.
It's just about living a better life, man,
Yeah.
you know? And the thing that I always liked about the three of us coming together to do this is I always say, you know, we got our own silly little way of the life that we share with each other, the way that we, you know, get on with each other, the way we're there for each other. And, you know, a lot of people, they hear that word sober, or they hear, oh, he's getting clean, like, you know, life's going to stop. But really, it's quite the opposite, man. That's when life begins.
Yeah.
I was so afraid I'm going to lose myself.
All this
What
good
the fuck
shit.
did I have to lose?
All this good shit I got.
Stop catching prison bids? Stop being homeless? Stop breaking my mother's heart? What the fuck was I gonna lose?
Yep.
For real, you know? And meanwhile, I wanted to keep a stranglehold on my addictions. I wanted to keep a stranglehold on my alcoholism because I was scared to death to lose it.
Fear.
You know? And they say, right, the devil you know is better than the one you don't. And that, what a sick way of thinking that is, you know? But I came home, I raised my hand, and I introduced myself to the group. It's my home group to this day. For those that don't know what a home group is, it's a group that you go to on the regular, and you're a part of that group, you know? And I'm very proud of the group I belong to. And I raised my hand, and I said, I just came home. I've been away for a while, and I don't know how to live. You know, it was probably the most honest I've ever been, especially in a room. Back then, it was like 100
Yeah,
deep.
it was a big one.
There's a
man.
big one, right? And you know, I don't even know how to speak properly. I'm just doing my best to do what I was told for the first time in my life, and I'm just like someone, one of you said it tonight, man. I'm just gonna be willing, man, as willing as I can possibly be, and I'm not gonna throw shade on nothing you're telling me, because what have I done with my life? My life at that point, I'm 38 years old, I think, and you know what my whole life amounted to? 184017. You understand? And for those that don't know what that is, that's my inmate number of the state of Connecticut.
That's OG number, bro.
It is an OG number. Nothing to be proud of, but it is, you know. And I've been around, and a good, you know, piece of me grew up in this system, and for a long time, sadly enough, that was a badge of honor.
Badge of honor, bro.
In all the wrong circles, you know. And today, you know, the life that I live, my whole life revolves around being there to try to help somebody else to the best of my ability. Every morning when I pray to let me be willing and able to help somebody else. If someone's hand reaches out, I pray that my hand is there to receive it, because there's nothing better to help somebody find this way of life. That's my time.
Yeah, but you're
That shit
good,
went
bro.
quick.
We all went over.
But anyway,
I didn't.
I don't give a fuck about that clock. No. But you know,
Still selfish.
fuck about it.
Yo,
I'm trying to do something good here,
try to do
goddammit.
something good. Damn it, give me some more time.
But you know, I have, like I said, man, I grew up a lot here, and I needed that. I thought I showed up here a man. All I was a man in age. I brought nothing to the table like a man should bring. You know, I've heard our friend Eddie always says it. The strongest men and women you will meet are in these rooms. They're doing this thing. You know, another friend of mine, he says, you know, man, the tough guy ain't the guy out there putting in work. The tough guy has got the fucking lunch pail in his hand.
That's right.
And he's going to work and he's providing for his family. That's the tough guy.
That's right.
You know, I don't feed into those selfish desires anymore. I don't feed into those things that are going to hurt me and hurt mine. You know, I say that I'm a man today. That means I'm there to support mine, not take away from them. You know, I have a wife. I got a wife in sobriety. And man, I have really put her through it, because I didn't know how to be a husband. You know, truth be told, I only know how to be, like you said, selfish. I know how to be self-serving. And you know, man, I was not really willing and able to be receptive to the things that she needed, the things that she was telling me. And to have the ability to talk about that openly, I feel has always been a gift for me, because for many years I was ashamed to talk about anything.
Yeah.
God forbid you think less of the idiot that I really am. You know, because now I'm going to open my mouth and prove it all right, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And I've had a lot of work to do in that area. I still do. I don't know that I'm achieving much.
We'll ask her.
Yeah. But you know, I know I love her. I know she loves me. And you know, man, because I am a sober man, I'm able to hear those things today.
That's right.
And even then, it took a little time for it to sink in the million layers of rock that's in my fucking skull. I'm able to do these things without resentment, without any kind of animosity.
Right.
Because you know why? It's making me a better person.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, that's what I strive for. I have to be a better person, because the guy that I am today will never see the inside of a prison again.
Word.
Except, and I think I did talk about this last week, but I always can't never talk about it enough, that same prison I spoke about that I was last released from, I get to go in there every Friday morning and run a group.
You actually did not mention that last week.
I didn't?
And I was gonna say,
Really?
when you finished, like, yo, last week you never told them that you get to walk back
Yes.
into that prison and leave.
And walk out. That's right.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the biggest gift that I have received in my life so far. And you know, these men, man, when they see me walk in, they know I'm fired up, man. They know that I'm bringing it real to them, because That's how it was brought to me, and that's where I got the message. So if it worked for me, and then maybe it will work for somebody else, you know? And that's it, man. I have men like this in my life. The fellowship, to have friends in your life, real friends that you could count on.
That's right.
You know, I was away for years, and I run into someone like, oh, man, didn't I see you last week?
Yeah.
Last week?
Didn't we get high together last week?
I ain't been around for years, you know? And today, if these guys don't hear from me, they're going to call me. They're going to want to know what's going on, you know? And that's the true meaning of friendship. That's real love right there, man. And without that, I suffer. I need that in my life. And that's it, man. You know, it's a daily process. You know, we don't do it alone. We do it together. And that's not some weak shit, man.
Nah.
That's some real shit.
Real shit.
And,
Strong shit.
I am only a better man. You don't always say you want to judge me, man. Don't judge me for me. Judge me by who you see me. I surround myself with.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know? And I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
that's the truth. Yeah, thank you, Matt.
I'm a great husband.
You're just unprompted throwing that.
Just
right
don't ask her.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We'll keep that amongst
I had
ourselves.
a dude in my home group who used to say that. He said, "You want to judge how my sobriety
right.
is? Go talk to my family."
Don't go talk to my wife, please. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Maritza.
Shout out!
I just married that girl. Halloween,
Legit, we were there.
legit in a cemetery.
It actually happened.
That's how we roll, bro.
Factual.
So, all right, man. So you got a lot more of our stories. You'll find out more about us as episodes go. But this is the segment of the show where we like to call One Time Bro. And I think this is going to be a segment that everybody almost can't wait to hear.
Yeah, the one time
And in every episode, we're going to have a one-time bro. And that is when one of us tells a little war story. And, you know, we're all going to laugh. Shit's serious, but if you don't make light of this stuff by now, and if you're taking your recovery like you shouldn't laugh and it's all doom and gloom, then you're doing it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong.
Rule 62, baby.
So Matt, give us a little one time, bro.
Oh my God! This one time.
One time, bro.
So, you know,
See, stepping up to the mic for this one, right?
Yeah.
well, the thing I'm thinking of before I even get into this, you know, I do, like Dino said, man, we're gonna laugh about it, but it's real, and it shows an ugly side of what this thing will do to you if you take it to that level. So, I am not proud of the story I'm gonna tell you. There's nothing to be proud about.
But it's funny as fuck.
It is funny as fuck.
But I need a good laugh, brother. So here we
So,
go.
you know, and you know,
And I haven't heard this one.
no.
I'm so excited.
So, you know, the bottom line is
Let me
that
get on my wonky chair. Here.
I think all three of us will agree that, you know, man, I'm not above telling you everything about myself because
right.
it takes that brutal honesty. I have to be willing to share this stuff because that's poisonous inside of me.
Yeah, there was a time in our life we wouldn't tell any of these stories to nobody. Like, I ain't
No.
telling nobody that shit.
No way.
Especially ones that have like a statute of limitations. You know those?
yeah.
So there's this one time, I got this kid, man, and he's new to the game, and I take him under my wing. You understand? Because I'm that guy. I'm
Fresh
You're showing
fish.
the ropes.
teach this young buck.
Yeah.
And so I go ahead and I do this burglary, and I get a bag of money. And the first thing we do is we go get what we need.
Yep.
And then from there we go get this hotel. And this guy, Russ, he got a thing with hookers. I got a thing with smoking bass.
Yeah, man.
You understand? There ain't no time for
Hookers want your base.
Hookers,
So
yeah, you can't be around me.
Yeah. Crackheads
So,
aren't good sharers.
I give him a couple dollars. I said, he swears there's hookers outside. There ain't no hookers outside. This kid's hallucinating. He's out of his fucking mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I give him the money. I give him the special knock
yes.
so I know it's him at the door.
yes.
And I commence to put in some work in that
Yeah.
room.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm smoking 100 miles a minute. And then, of course, like any crackhead, the paranoia kicks in.
Cops are coming.
They're out there.
You can hear the sirens.
They're
in the
everywhere.
distance. If you listen hard enough.
The dogs are outside, bro.
can hear 'em.
They're about to kick in the door.
I start out in the bathroom window. The bathroom window is in the woods. There's nothing but woods back there. I'm out the fucking window, bro. Half of my body, and I'm looking down the side of the building like somebody's coming in from the trees. As if they don't see a half a body sticking out the fucking window.
With the stem in his mouth.
Oh, my God.
Hidden a little bit.
So, wait. So now I'm in there, man. I swear to God, they're taking pictures.
Yeah.
So it occurs to me, I got this bag that the money was in. I got a knife, so I cut 2 eye holes, and I cut a mouth hole,
Smart.
and I put the fucking bag over my head.
You don't want them seeing your face.
Bro,
If they're taking pictures.
I'm sweating buckets. It's hot as fuck in the middle of the summer. I'm walking around with this bag on my fucking head, and I'm hitting this thing. I'm smoking like the fucking wheels are about to fall off.
Like the Olympics.
Gotta get rid of the evidence.
No, there was too much to get rid of. It wasn't going down like that.
Okay.
So then, here comes the special knock. And it occurs to me, this kid been gone too long.
Yeah, way too long.
Way too long. Who is it? I already know who the fuck it is. I answer the door, and I boom right to the neck with the knife.
Oh, God.
Where the
bag on his head.
I got the, yeah.
Dude, this is what this dude gets the door open to, bro. Oh, my
I
God.
look like that. Remember the unknown comic?
The unknown comic,
With the paper bag? That's me with a crack stem sticking out of my fucking hole in my bag.
I'm surprised that shit didn't burn. The bag just lit on fire.
So I put the knife in this kid's neck. I'm like, where the fuck you been at? He's
Oh,
like,
my God.
he can't even talk.
Yeah, with fear of getting
I'm
his
like,
neck
did you
cut.
call the fucking cops on me?
Oh, here we go.
And bro, I swear to God, he did. And after about 10 minutes of crying and begging, I said, maybe he didn't call the cops.
What's the
And then
special
I
knock
come
again?
Yeah. What was the password I didn't tell you? Yeah.
Yo, open the door.
Oh, this poor kid. Did he
And
come
so-
back with anybody?
No, because there wasn't no hookers out
Selfish.
there. Selfish prick. But,
He walked around for an hour looking for a hooker that wasn't there.
So yeah,
bro.
man, that was that one time.
One time,
Oh,
bro.
my God.
I ended up shortly there, maybe that night or the next night. I had this stolen van during that time for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the rental. Avis.
It was rented from a florist. They didn't know. And so we get into this huge car chase. I said, bro, I'm gonna slow down to about 20, and you're gonna jump.
Tuck and roll, Grandma.
I know.
20's all right.
He
You could do
wasn't.
20.
I said, well, yeah, and I drove up onto a lawn.
Oh,
I was really
thoughtful. That
I'm
was
being
courteous.
helpful.
Yeah.
See, you
Being
weren't
helpful.
all selfish.
Yeah,
No.
no.
That was really nice of you, man.
I said, because you ain't built for prison. I said, they'll follow me. You get out and run. He got away.
Nice.
I did not.
He did the tuck and roll at 20.
He was out.
Nice.
That was it, man.
You
One
guys,
time, bro.
you seen that video that's circulating? I think it's on YouTube. It's a dude that's in a car chase and he's making a turn and he gets out the passenger side and the car keeps going and the cops
Follow
Follow
the
the
car.
follow the car and he
Is
tucks
it
out of the
Waterbury
car,
cops?
and he just starts walking like he's watching the car chase. And they keep going.
Oh,
That's
man.
money.
I was like, yo, this dude.
He's my hero.
Yeah, he got away, bro.
Good for
Got
him.
away.
I got one like that, but I'm going to have to save it.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna have to
gonna
save
save
it because we can't do
Too many
one time bros all
No.
night. Even though we can do one time.
Yeah,
bros
we
all
could do
night.
one time.
We've actually done it.
And we're gonna
One time, bro.
our next week we're gonna have a special guest.
We are going to have a special guest.
Yes.
We cannot reveal to you guys who it is yet.
No, you
It's
gotta
only,
shout
secret.
only because we have no idea who the hell it
We
is.
don't know who it's going to be.
But we'll have somebody, and,
Yeah.
and they're going to be fired.
Yeah, bro.
You got shout outs to the places people can go and hear us and all that stuff.
Let's do that. So
John's our IT guy.
So
He's the
we're-
smart one here.
John's in charge of everything.
Yeah.
so we
everything.
got us
We just
on.
show up and talk.
That's it.
We're on Spotify, the Subs podcast on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music, Subs
Nice.
podcast. All subs. Also socially unacceptable, but so too much words.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
For us to type.
Just ask what it means. We'll tell you.
I mumbled that. Whatever. So they're not
Stop,
gonna
stop,
remember
stop,
that.
stop.
So
We're on iTunes. Not iTunes, iPod, whatever the Apple version to listen. What is it called? Yo, they were the OGs. They made this stuff. They were the
OGs.
first
So it's
podcast.
OG
It's from an
podcast.
iPod. So we're on Apple, and then we're also on Google as well. And God willing, set these things up right.
That's right.
And we'll have the video up on YouTube.
So you'll be able to see how ugly we are.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's on all those. We got social medias, man, and I guess I'll start posting them. We're on Instagram, and I don't know if I made a Facebook page for us, but I think we're definitely on Instagram. I know that. So you can hit us up on there. And we got a little bit. I put a little vote out there for the Spotify's got a poll you can do. So what do you want more of? Feedback, anything you want to comment on, and also let me shout out our email address if you wanna air out some questions and be featured on the show.
Or any suggestions.
Any suggestions? Yeah.
Or cares and concerns.
Yeah, cares and concerns.
Not that we
welcome it.
give one fuck, but whatever.
If you got any suggestions for the suggestion box?
subs SUBS podcast1 at Gmail is our email address. So hit us on that. And that's the one I'm going to use for whatever feedback comes back in. So, yeah,
Cool.
We're in there. And, like it up.
Awesome.
Eat it up.
Awesome.
Love it up.
Any shout outs before we end this?
Any shout-outs before we end this? What do we got going on?
My poor wife.
Poor wife.
So.
Shout out my wife,
She's got to
Ashley.
put up with me.
Always got to shut out my life.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Putting up with me.
Ashley,
yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Ashley, Aaron, and Maritza.
Yeah, shout out.
True angels.
True angels on earth.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Episode 2 in the bank.
Put it in the can.
See you next week. Peace.
It felt so good, it felt so right. The subs are off the air tonight. I hope it felt real good for you,